This is Naoki Yoshida.
This is Fern Halls.
And you are listening to Aetheryte Radio.
Aetheryte Radio.
Here we go.
I clicked the unmute button and it was like, no. I swear to God, this thing, man. My computer, OBS, they're just like, you don't love us anymore. We understand. It's like, no. We're here. We're trying to do the thing, computer. It's okay.
Please let us.
It's okay, computer. It's okay. We're back. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Aetheryte Radio, Gamer Escapes Final Fantasy XIV podcast. I am Fusion X. Joining us today, we've got Zen, we've got Rook.
Hi.
And...
Hi.
Are we okay? And we have Darian Hart joining us as well.
Hey.
So it has been a while. Real life is a thing.
Real life.
What that is, I don't know.
Ooh, real life came in hard for a lot of us. We've been busy with just work or conventions, traveling, and tis the season. So lots and lots of stuff going on.
Season of what?
Season of holidays.
Holiday nonsense. Of non-stop holiday
Shenanigans.
extravaganza shenanigans.
Rook was like, I'ma just like buy a house.
Yeah.
No. It wasn't just like I'ma just buy a house.
I mean, I feel like it was. I feel like it was. It felt like a very short period of time. Rook's just like, yeah. So we're like looking for houses, and like a month later, now she's in a house. It's like,
Look, that's just how Bebop and I roll. That's how we do this. This is how our life works. This is how our mental health works. We are the kinds of people that it's like we think about doing a thing for 3 years, and then we go, now it's happening. Right now it's happening, and we're gonna do it in 3 months.
My favorite part is how you still have the bed behind you. The wall is still blue, and there's still a closet on the right side.
Yep. I mean, it's different, and it'll look more different the more time that passes here. So for those of you who are watching and not just listening, there will be. I have a whole bunch of pictures and shelves. I've got a whole bunch of things, yeah, but this bed is still here, and it will never leave us, so.
Oh, Veiled in the chat is getting on me now. No, I know, it takes time to decorate. I understand. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So we got a little bit of news to catch up on. Most recently here, Final Fantasy XIV won 2 awards at the Game Awards, one for Best Ongoing Game and one for Best Community Support. And then they touted.
I thought it was Best Community, so I was like, did we win an award? Does that count
was it Best
for us?
Community, Best Community Support, something like that? It was funny because they announced it, and then they plugged discord.gg/FFXIV, and it's like, Jeff Keighley, that is the Reddit Discord. That is not an official Discord. I poked my head over there to see, how it was going, and all the mods were just like, oh God, here come all the Fortnite people. So shout out to the Reddit Discord.
A little spicy. Yeah, so there were actually 2 community awards. The first one, the one that we just talked about, the Game Awards, was Best Community Support. And at Golden Joysticks, we did win Best Community, period.
That's what it was. So. They're very samey sounding. But yeah, congrats to Fire Team. Also, right now, Starlight Celebration is happening. That'll go until December 31st. If you do it this year, you'll get a new, it's a reindeer mount, which is cool.
Have you seen the
shiny
pictures?
Nose.
People are freaking, they're lining up their reindeers and like sitting in the chair mount in the sky. Somebody dressed as Santa, so it looks like somebody in a sleigh with a whole reindeer entourage.
That's pretty great.
So cute.
That's pretty great.
Cute.
I love that. And there's also a blue sparkly outside tree. So
subpar. Gonna just throw that out there.
It's kind of weird. It's like it doesn't really scream Starlight. Remember.
It fits a certain aesthetic, but not what's already in my yard. So I'm not going to use it.
Remember the first Starlight when people had to put trees in their yard? And that was like part of the event. So cool. Remember that? The one time they utilized housing districts.
So you had to put the tree out in your yard, and then different people had to come up and like wave at the tree or something.
Yeah, you had to interact with the tree.
Acknowledge that the tree existed, and that's how you finished the Starlight event.
Wait. So could you not participate if you didn't have, like, you weren't able to put a tree in a yard? Or was it that you
had to find a tree in a yard. Yeah.
You just had to hope people were nice and put them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is probably why they didn't do it again.
But like that was the only
really cool
time the neighborhoods felt validated to me. It's like, oh, you're using it for stuff. Cool. No, never again.
I think they could do it again. As long as you had both of those options. And even with something like Ishgardian Restoration, right? We have that version of the the firmament there. So they could just put an interactable tree in there to make sure people had somewhere to go to,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they should do it again. Also, Moogle Treasure Trove is going on right now until the patch next month. The big new thing is the Namazu Neckerchief, which looks more like a ribbon if you ask me. But and there's also the Falcon Ignition Key. This was previously only available a number of years ago if you were subbed during a certain period of time. So if you don't have that, definitely something to
It's also Moogle Tomes right now, so
that's what we're talking about.
Oh, it's for something else right now as well.
I don't know.
Is it?
Don't know. Yeah. This is me half paying attention yesterday while I struggle with my life.
Oh, Seth.
That's fair.
We love you. It's gonna be just fine. Yes, the Moogle Treasure Trove, tomestones, you can get them. I have to say, and you'll have to let me know how you all feel about this, because I think, I hate to say this, I like that it is an option to get various things in a different way in the game, for sure. But I sort of feel like I'm over these. I don't know if I'm the only one. I almost feel like I would rather see them add in some other new kind of fillery, content-y sort of stuff. It feels like anymore to me when these pop up, I'm just kind of like, I don't really think there's something that gets me to play the game or run content. I don't know. Maybe a lot of other people I think will have different feelings. I'm sure new players also feel different because this is a much more expedient way for them to be able to get a lot of these items. But I guess for me as a veteran player at this point, I'm kind of just like, I would love it if they shook it up and did something different or added something else in for this, or we got some other variation of kind of time passing event.
Yeah,
I mean, the new player thing is the thing. Like, I was like, I'm gonna sound snooty right now, but we players who've been here for a while.
I am a legacy.
We have all this shit already, but for new people, it's much easier to suddenly get this.
Yeah,
sometimes, like when they're like, "Here, try and get the pony." It's like, just unsync and go get that. You don't need to do the Moogle Tomes for that.
I remember the one time I did it was actually for that biker jacket. As a veteran player, I was like, "This is an awesome glam," and then I did the Moogle Tomes just to get that whole outfit. Maybe if they did more glamour stuff, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's like I can't even cap tomes each week. You want me to come in and like grind this other type of tome? Like, I don't got that kind of time right now. Like
the two emotes. Which ones are those? Overzealous affirmations.
I bet there's a really cool website that has that information on it.
What could it be? What website?
I mean, if I had to just guess off the top of my head, ffxiv.gamerscape.com.
It's a fist pump, according to ffxiv.gamerscape.com.
Oh, okay.
/wiki/ballroom_edit__overzealous_.
You can just go to the thing and search for it.
It's true.
You don't need to.
And I do know at this point, so for anybody who doesn't know, or maybe you're a listener, or maybe you're newer to the game, this Falcon Ignition Key is a mount that, as far as I know, is not obtainable anywhere else in the game at this point. For a brief while, they did have it. This was so funny. I was tracing this back on my stream the other day. I was like, wasn't there a period of time where that mount had something to do with subscription rewards, like subscription duration rewards? And it turns out that it did. I think it was back in Stormblood when they were trying to incentivize people to like come back or renew subs.
So if you sub for a certain amount of time, there's like rewards that you get. And they stopped that. And then they did the Falcon mount, which is transforms depending on if you're flying or on the ground or underwater. And it was like, we're going to do a new thing instead. And that was the only time they did it. So yep.
Intelligent Impressions, I think, is the other one. Intelligent Impressions. Yes, that one's the reading one, which is very nice. You can only get from FET stuff. So that one's pretty good.
There you go.
Yeah. Good to snag.
Yeah, worth checking out to see if there's anything in there that you really need. Also, this past this week before, Orchestral Arrangement Album Volume 3. Oh, so good. I don't know how it's possible that every time I hear a new version of Close in the Distance, it's even better than the previous version. For we had the original, we had the Primals version. Now we have Jason Miller with an orchestra. Yes, more of that. We have To the Edge is also on there. Shadowbringers, full orchestra. Tomorrow. Flow is on there. It's so good. Definitely check it out if you can. Right now, it's only available physically. You can't get it digital. You couldn't get the other ones digitally either.
Which is foolish, let's be honest.
It's a little silly. But they also announced that there will be a Blu-ray of the concert. The concert is, I think, this weekend in Japan. There will be a Blu-ray of it that comes out. I think it was in May, which would then likely have the MP3s for the tracks as well. So, yeah, something to check out for sure. It's so good. It's so good. It's good.
I have to do a little shout out here for Tempest's comment in the chat. Close in the Distance. Did you mean Cry in the Now?
I mean,
I like that a lot. That's
do I purposefully start it low so that when it gets to that one part I can just crank it? Yes, I do. Also, last bit of news here.
To make yourself cry?
It's just it's good music. It's good listening.
Cathartic. It's cathartic. Sometimes you just need a good cathartic cry. I don't know what
you
it
like
is.
To feel your feelings. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll watch either. I don't know why. This is the thing. Sometimes I'll watch either Avatar: The Last Airbender again or Mulan, and I'll just know that I need to watch it because I need to have a cry, and they're not even sad. But for some reason, I get deeply emotional about both of them, so I'll just put it on. And then the part where they're like, "And you saved all of China," I'm like, like every single time. Sometimes you just need to cry.
I mean, if I need like a good pump up moment, I will go back to that scene from Spider-Verse where he takes the dive. With the music. Yeah. Such a good scene.
I mean, so good.
Half of the entire Final Fantasy soundtrack will also just make me cry on command. So that's also one that I use a lot. The Final Fantasy 14 soundtrack.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So, also,
I just start up another character and play through Endwalker again.
That's a big time investment to get that cry.
It's like I don't want like just like a little. I just want to like cry for like a week.
I want to be dehydrated. From my face.
Too much moisture. We need to get this out of the body. Last but certainly not least, new live letter, December 23rd at 3 a.m. Pacific. Obviously, that's 2 days before Christmas. We will not be here on Christmas. We will not be here the week after either, I don't think, because of New Year's.
I'm not going to be here, sorry.
The dates line up so well for us this year.
And then the next week is MagFest, so I also will not be here.
Right, and by that point, I think we're just going to be in the patch, so we probably won't even talk about the live letter. We'll just be like, and here's the patch.
For anybody going to MagFest, totally come find me. I look like this.
Yes, we'll have to see. Navigating the holidays is always tricky, but if we're able to figure out something else for something in the interim or another first edition or, an off normal day cast, we'll definitely do it. But yeah, it's just that time of year, everybody, unfortunately. But we are glad to be back today, at least.
I like that you called us out for that, too, because we were like, this whole time, we're like, yeah, we're going to be taking a break, but like, we're totally going to like try and like get some other stuff in here while we're gone. And no.
Look, I'm just ready. It's more Aetheryte Radio.
This is other stuff.
This is one, but we were like, we're gonna do an off day D&D, and it'll be fine. And it's
try.
We might still.
We tried. We talked about it. That's
life. Yeah. Oof, life. And with that, we're gonna get into our topic for this week. We have the lovely Darian Hart joining us today, and we're gonna talk about Wish Upon a Realm. So give us the elevator pitch here, Darian. What is Wish Upon a Realm?
So it's a fan-made festival we made to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and to be honest, it was a lot of fun. We basically had a 2-day festival where we brought together a lot of streamers and content creators, and they all basically helped out by running a show that lasted 2 days. And it started at 10 a.m. PT each day. And it was basically a collective of events featured in Final Fantasy, basically for all the gamers to come by and hang out and have fun and party with us while we raise money for Make-A-Wish.
So what led you to start this? Is there a reason you chose Make-A-Wish?
So Make-A-Wish actually reached out to us first. They actually messaged Nabi, who's not here right now, but she worked just as hard as I did to make it happen. But they reached out to her and she's like, "Hey guys, I think this is back in October." They reached out and they're like, Nabi was telling us, "Hey guys, I think we should do an event or something with Make-A-Wish. They're reaching out. Maybe we can get the whole VTuber team together, and we can maybe raise money for the kids." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's a great idea." A lot of us chimed in and we're like, yeah, we can do something. So the plan was really unclear at the start because we didn't know what we were going to be doing, but it all started coming together in the month of November, really.
So we were just talking about feeling our feelings. Just you talking about this right now, I'm like, oh, it's
I know. I mean, it was incredible. I was really happy that you invited me to participate in some of it, but even just seeing everybody that came together for this, for something that started out as a like, hey, yeah, maybe we can do something for this charity and for this amazing cause. Or, maybe we can turn it into something even bigger than just a little one-off or just a little thing. And this 2-day festival, I mean, it was amazing to see how many people tuned in, how many people were there in game at all the different events and the meet and greets. And it really felt almost like a mini holiday charity convention in game. It was so wild. And it's amazing that it started like that and that you were able to do so much good to help realize the, wishes and dreams of children. Literally the Starlight essence, right? The whole theme of Starlight, to be able to do that in the real world too.
How many reindeer were involved in the making of this?
Oh man, I would say like about 90 people or so got involved to help out. We actually released a form at first. We were just like gauging interest for a really long period of time because we were like, we don't know if anyone is gonna come, but a lot of people did come and they wanted to help, and so many community members that we all know and love, they all were like, hey, yeah, we can do this, we can do that. But definitely, it was a challenge. It had many challenges along the way to make it possible, and a lot of impromptu things as well.
What do you think were some of the biggest challenges with coordinating it then? Was it how did you go from idea to reality? What was that process like?
Well, first it was chaos. and then I'm like, we need to organize this. So then I went and I basically from all the people involved, I basically asked that pool of players basically like, hey, do you want to host, or do you want to do something, or is there an event or something that you would want to do? Like, we actually were thinking about doing Starlight carriage rides, but that one got nixed, right? So there was a whole process of ideas of us trying to figure out, okay, what can we do? And from the people involved, we're like, who actively streams right now? Maybe they could host a segment. And one of the biggest challenges, I think, was trying to figure out who's going to close on the nights, right? So Saturday and Sunday, who's going to end the night, and another one was, where are we going to do this? Where are we going to get venues from? So I literally spent a lot of my own time and went out on Aether to those PFs, just in the PF you see all these things written come hang out at our lounge over here, this is a bar. I would just visit venues hey, you guys want to be a part of an event?
You guys do private events?
It's for the kids. Never mind that you're a bar.
And then I remember at one point at 4 a.m, I found a Titanic ship someone built in the game. And I was on the deck of Titanic, and I reenacted with my friend the whole T-pose at the bow. Yeah. And we got in chats with the owners, and we're like, hey, you guys interested in this? And we're like, I don't think we can showcase Titanic, but we can. There could be if you guys want to do more stuff. And then for some reason, it worked out, and these people were like, yeah, we have all these venues and all these friends at different venues, maybe we can build stuff. So I found so many builders, and that was pretty awesome. And a lifesaver, really.
That's amazing. I love wandering around in houses. You never know what you're gonna find.
Yeah.
Oh, you really don't.
I mean, there's been some like, just as soon as people started figuring out how to like glitch items and stuff, like that was it. Everything is just insane now. Like I've seen people recreate robots or motorcycles out of like clocks, and it's just.
It's part of why I really hope eventually they do update the like housing placement system so you don't even have to do the glitches. So anybody can just do this. Because the sheer amount of creativity in the community and like people just being able to create something like the Titanic or whatever it is just so amazing, and it's so fun to discover.
Oh my god, it's wild. And yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the biggest improvement that they could make to housing is by removing the interior fixtures within a house, because a majority of the furnishings go up as walls to make it look sleek, basically. And they could save so much storage space that way if we didn't have to get 6,000 walls to cover the fixtures, you know?
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, but you are not wrong.
Or you gotta like hang the light.
Issue as well, yeah.
Yeah, you put a big chandelier in, and then you start adding the partitions, and it goes right through the light, and you're like, oh, can't put that there now.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of different events during this. How did you decide what to have as events throughout the event? I said event a lot during that.
The way we sort of went through and decided was I looked at the roster of people who were interested, and I thought, like, we can reach out to our stream teams. So there's amazing stream teams in 14 in this directory. So we reached out to Team Drifter and Team Aetheryte and also the Team XIV tubers, and we basically were like, does anybody want to come along, basically? And, you know, I think Rook also was like, yeah, sure, at one point. And so basically we were like, okay, so this is our list of people. Let's see what they're interested in. So Kugon and Lux, for example, they were there and they were just joking around at one point in the Discord, and I'm like, wait, what if they actually ran the glamour show? And everyone's like, that's chaos. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So we told them.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, exactly. And so it kind of was formulated in that kind of sense. And basically, we made the list of events based on what time is everybody free. Like, I checked in with everybody, like, are you free this time? It was like brackets, really. And, you know, Rin Karagani, he, like in LunarCon, one of the other big festivals in this game, they were like cosplaying as Kronk. So we're like, what if Kronk was Santa? Like, that's hilarious. So we created Santa's Grotto, and we had Rin open every day, greeting everybody in his grotto as Santa. So, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Rin. We had Rin on, gosh, was it just the last episode? No. It was a few back. It was 3 months ago, though.
Oh yeah, 3 months? That was yesterday. I agree.
What has time even become? Seriously. No, yeah, I mean, Rin's Kronk actually was the way that I think I first really met Rin, which is so funny. I was like talking about Kronk or something and how funny I think Kronk was, and Rin was in the chat, and then Rin recorded some sort of little shout out and like added me on Twitter with it in Kronk voice, and I was totally blown away. And I had just like heard Rin's name around like a little bit, and then was like, oh my gosh, Rin is so wonderful and so sweet. And I loved that he got to open up each day with that. It's so good, so funny. But I mean, honestly, a lot of the events that you had over the course of this weekend were just so great. Like Santa's Grotto, we had the Holiday Glamour Show, you had screenshot contest, a quiz night, which is so fun. There was a macro dance show.
That one was amazing. Super amazing too. Yeah,
that's so cool.
I really love the macro dance show because I actually never get to really see them, right? So it was really cool being able to go in there and watch April Cleo Potato do this amazing macro dance show, and she hosted it on her stream. It was the most wholesome thing I've ever seen. I would really recommend people to go back and watch that VOD because it was so good. But I was freaking out because it was awesome.
I mean, like, again, the creative talent in 14 is unbelievable. For anybody who doesn't know, macro dancing is essentially when you like program a bunch of emotes and time them with music so that the characters do like a whole macro set of a dance, which is just amazing.
So creative. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And you mentioned quiz night with Leonardy, and Leonardy actually hosted Who Wants to Be a Gillionaire. Do you guys remember that? That was hosted on one of the FF community events or so. It was some event FF was doing. I forgot which, but he came back and he did a quiz night, and that was really cool too. We had a whole like stadium set up for him. Basically, a lot of people were sitting, and it was just like it felt like a game show. Really, it was really fun to watch him do simple trivia that you'd think we would all get, but not really, in correlation to the game.
It's hard when you're put on the spot. What's so funny is that I think a lot of us can just kind of sit around and regurgitate a million Final Fantasy facts in the moment. But then I recently did like a cooking show trivia thing, and I was going, oh, I know, I totally am going to know a lot of these. And then in the moment you just sit there and the question gets asked and you go, have I ever played Final Fantasy? Did I ever play the game?
That's the one with the guy with the spiky hair, right? I think.
That's why I like the show. Rook and I were on a little show at Onicon, and they expected us to not know the answers. So the point of the game was for us to make stuff up, and whoever made stuff up, the best one.
Yes, you just like came up with a total bullcrap answer.
Yeah,
and then
who was the best bullshitter?
Yeah.
Who was?
Who was?
Oh, Michael Nicholas. Yeah. I think I gave him a run for his money.
You did a good job.
Yeah, I like to think it, but he was prolific. Yeah, he's an incredible voice actor. So.
Oh my gosh, he was so good at just throwing stuff out there, and
I know.
He bullshitted with all of us. And I was the mascot there, so I was like playing the part of the mascot during this. So I had to get everything wrong on purpose because she doesn't know crap about this real world. And so I'd be like, what's the thing with the thing? And he'd feed me the absolute wrong answer. And I'd just be like, yep, that sounds right. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, I love a good quiz night. So I was really excited. I realized saying that made me sound incredibly old in one fell swoop. I love a good quiz night. I love some trivia.
Back before the pandemic, we used to do pub trivia. That was a thing.
It's fun, but I mean, it was such a good mix of events that you had at the event. You're right, Confusion. It's actually hard to talk about events without saying event 5,000 times. At the festival, there we go. At the festival, there was also Frosty's Chocobo race that happened on Sunday, which was a ton of fun. I know that one. Do you want to talk a little bit about that one or putting that one on? That one seemed pretty wild.
That one was really wild. Oh my god, I like lost so many brain cells trying to organize that. Because in the background for like up until the last day, basically, I was filling the Chocobo race roster, right? So we needed 28 solid people who would show up, right? Because the way it works is Frosty takes one spot in the 8-man party, so 7 times 4 is 28, so it's just all the math, right? And so I got people to do it, but then literally like leading up to it, like the week of, like we would get like a dropout after dropout every day. It's like, okay, constantly replacing.
Oh, no.
And I basically got no sleep that weekend, and I feel really bad about this, but I was like, Nabi, I won't be there for Rin's Grotto in the morning, but I'll be up for the Chocobo race because I was a part of it too. And I slept, and then I woke up like 1 hour into the race. And I was like, no. And Frosty, oh my god, I don't even want to know what happened when I wasn't there, because I like basically made the roster, right? So I was just like, I can gather everybody up and get everybody ready, but I wasn't there for that, unfortunately. But I did join when I woke up. And everything was pretty smooth from the point when I was there. Everything looked pretty smooth. They had already done 3 races, 3 rounds. They figured it out. And Frosty was having a blast. I think Frosty had the most fun, actually, because he was really into destroying us all in the races.
I really think Frosty just holds these Chocobo races to destroy us all.
Finally, this thing that I've spent so much of my life on, I can just...
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was his goal this whole time.
Yeah, pretty much any time that I would be in the race and I'd be like, who just slowed me? And I'd look over and Frosty's Chocobo would just blast by, and I was like,
he's just like looking back at you like, hi.
Oh, that was a ton of fun. That was a ton of fun. There was also an art party. This is something, so you're an artist yourself. You're an artist yourself. But I was wondering if you could kind of even just give people a bit of a rundown about like what art parties are and like obviously the event itself having one, because this is something that I think really I've at least noticed a lot in the last year, maybe a little bit more, but these art parties have really been taking off and it's so fun to see them. And it's such an amazing way, like if somebody, whether you're an artist or not, or you just want to like participate in something for fun, it's been so cool to see these. So I was curious if you could even like run people through what those are and like how it went down at the event this past weekend.
Right, yeah, sure. So art parties are basically a big party. Art parties are a giant party. You just invite your friends to it and you create a hashtag and you basically everybody posts their art under that hashtag, usually on Twitter. Basically what you do is it's pretty free form. You go inside the party and you look around and if you see someone you can just draw them in any way you want. So it's really free form. You do what you want and that's pretty cool because it doesn't put pressure on the artist. That's something that I really appreciate in particular as well. And you just share it with the hashtag and people will see it eventually. So that's what's cool about an art party. You can invite artists, but not just restricted to artists, but any of your friends too. People who don't even do art, they're welcome too. It's open to all. It's free form for the artist and you're having a party. So what's there not to like? And you have a hashtag to look at later to see all the memories you've created.
That's cute.
That's cool.
So cute.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I did like 2 sketches that time. Like it's way more freeform than doing like an art stream where you feel the pressure of, oh my god, there's people waiting to be drawn and you're just drawing like a crazy. But it's more nice when it's like really a lax environment to just vibe at. And oh my god, the art party was packed. We had no idea. We were okay. A little backstory. For the art party, the venue designers I was working with, they're like, Darian, how many people do you think are going to show up to this art party? And this was like way in the beginning. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe like 20 to 50. And in hindsight, everybody would laugh at me, right? But when the event actually happened, we had like hundreds of people there. And we're like, oh my god. It like we broke it basically. Like people couldn't get inside. But I really undershot that because I had never ran an art party before. I've joined them, but I never ran one before. But it was really, really fun. We had Christmas carolers come by as well. That was pretty fun.
So of the events, which one would you say was your favorite?
Wow, it's
really
like
tough.
Tell us what your favorite child is.
I know, that's so terrible.
I mean, you sound like you really love the art party, but come on, what's your favorite?
It's okay. We understand that all the events were great. This is just your personal, like, what did you really think was fun? What did you feel really proud of? Like, no pressure.
I'm proud of the entire event. Like, the whole event, everyone did a great job. I think I was most mesmerized by the dance show because I never saw one close up like that before. But the Songbirds performance was really nice, actually. I would say like that's one of my highlights because there we hosted that at the Mikado Amphitheater, right? So you guys know it's a giant auditorium. It's where you do your seasonal events usually. And we were all just seeing everybody come together in one big arena. That was so cool because I was like, wow, there really are a lot of people here. Just like zoom out and see. And all of your friends, like the streamers, everyone, a lot of people ended up showcasing their POVs on that too that night, which was really cool. And yeah, I don't know, it was just really nice seeing it all come together.
It's really neat
And it started
when
raining,
people use the
and
amphitheater.
they played Close the Distance,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
No.
No, seconded. Filling up that amphitheater is really cool. I haven't hosted an event since 1.0, but we did a Mr. Eorzea pageant.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So that was the original Mikado's amphitheater back in the day. And we had probably like 15 people show up. It was a much smaller community back in the day, but that was a good time. It was funny.
I desperately want that to happen again, Zed.
Yeah.
I want that to happen so bad. That would be so amazing.
I mean, if we could do it.
Because people used to do like beauty pageants all the time, and it's like, show up on your feminine-esque character and you can be in the pageant. And it's like, nah, this one's Mr. Eorzea. Come over here and take off your shirt. Let's go.
I can just imagine the dev team like, yeah, we'll put this little amphitheater in. Maybe the subscribers can play in it or do something. Oh, there's a gathering. What's Mr. Eorzea? Okay.
I think actually Alalafell won because he was the most charming.
Oh my god.
I love it. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Baby.
A little potato. It's a hot potato.
Was there like a theme song
No.
for it? Like, here he comes, Mr. Eorzea. Like, no.
I'm just hearing potato, potato, potato. Just a potato song play.
So
When Mr. Eorzea
I do
comes
love that, and I kind of wish that had happened.
Maybe the next one we'll just do a Mr. Potato.
Yeah, well, Mr. Potato, that shit.
My God.
That would be so good. Oh, I need it. Okay, all right. I'm logging all this away.
Potato
Now,
pageant?
Or we could. I mean, we don't need to restrict it to males. It could be all Lalafells. We could just call it the Potato Pageant, PP for short.
Potato pageant.
No.
Okay.
No.
Revision.
Okay, I'm moving us forward.
It could be the Popa.
The Popa. I like Popa. That's
Popa.
much better. That's much better. So you talked a little bit about the actual process of how you put together the events and how it was kind of realized, right? I touched a little bit on that. But what would you say, so like when you're scheduling these things, right? Or you're trying to put on events, whether it's for a big thing like this or it's on a smaller scale. I'll adapt the question a little bit here since we already touched a little bit on it. But what would you say to people, like what do they need to take into consideration if they're going to put on an event, a single event or a huge festival like this? Like what do you think are some of the considerations that while you were planning this, you had to give for doing these kinds of things?
I would say the number one thing is to gauge interest. So that's something we did for like a couple weeks. So really see who's around, who's willing to help, and you have to also like see like if you can reach out further if you're not getting enough, because that's what happened with us. Like we thought, okay, yeah, we got like 40 people to sign up. Okay, yeah, cool. We can make some kind of, relative. We didn't think it would be a big event, like a small event, or maybe we can. And then we thought, like, what about our own connections? So then we reached out to like our stream teams and stuff to see like if anybody wanted to be a part of it. And then, mutuals would hit up mutuals, and that's how, like, you would get more people, too. So it was just, like, a domino effect of, like, word of mouth, really. And then, we all came together in our planning Discord, where we also have the Make-A-Wish staff. So they could just, like, double over and look over some things. Should there be questions, they also helped with that. So I would say the number one advice is just gauge interest and see if you can rouse more interest if you need it. If not, then you stick with what you have and you make a medium-sized event or whatever you think is medium, small, or large, just depending on how many people are there. So just see what you have is really important, so you can see what directions they can go in to make these different events, like a glamour show. Like, it was pretty standard. It was just like, let's have a screenshot contest. Like, we just had a list of contests and stuff, and then I'm like, what if people hosted it? So then I just kind of delegated, like, hey, would you be interested in hosting this? Because, for example, Zuan, she's an amazing VTuber, and I know she loves taking photos, so I was like, that makes sense. Why didn't she do the screenshot contest, and she can have some people to host it with her, like Penelope and Mia, And then Ren, it was just a no-brainer to put Ren in as Santa for some reason. And then for the glamour show, we're like, who can go back and forth and have a great time with this, And we thought, why not good friends like Lux and Koo? And we all know Frosty hosts things, so hey, we have a chocobo race. You want it? Basically. So it was just basically like who fits where kind of thing.
Yeah. So have a solid foundation.
Basically, yeah.
That's good advice. That's a good advice.
Yeah. Solid foundation, people who are willing to do things, follow their interest, and then kind of see how you can build it out from that. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Smush it all together, and that's how events are made.
And there's an event.
There's an event.
There's that E word again, just event.
Event.
It's not a bad E word. It's an alright E word.
I never said it was a bad E word.
So you talked a little bit about how you reached out to different venues, and you just went around and actually went to venues that were already set up and running like events or posting in things like the Party Finder, and then kind of saw who would be interested in doing that. But with that, so a lot of them, it sounds like, did specific builds or brought in people who did specific builds for these holiday venues. How did you do that? What kind of things were you thinking of? Were you structuring around the events, or were they kind of creating the venues and then you were seeing what they did? And how long do you think it took to get all the venues together, like just alone from, like asking them to building and like ready to go for the actual festival?
Well, what you said is pretty much hitting the nail on the head with the fact that the venues were built around the events. So it's like we told them these were our events and we need spots for them. And then they had spots for them. So they were just, so then it was pretty straightforward of like, we need a Santa's Grotto because we know Ren's going to be doing this. So they built around our events, which is the way that worked. And then proceeding after that, like in terms of like how long that took, it was about like a month's process probably. The builders were really fast though, and they were also doing finals, so it's pretty like everything's happening at once, and that's just how December is, really, right? Everything's just happening at once.
I could study for my history exam, or I can make a Kronk Santa Grotto.
Right. And there was this venue in particular, Seaside Maiden Butler, where we hosted the Glamour Show, and the person running it literally finished their final and then showed up immediately. And there was just like a link shell, a bunch of staff. They had like so much stuff, and they were in there like 20 minutes before the event started, that one in particular. And they were just coordinating. We're like, we need you here, this, that. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys are crazy. I love you guys. Thank you so much. But these guys work so hard. The venues were Seaside Maiden Butler, which was the Glamour Show, and then there's Dead Space, which handled like 3 to 4 venues, which was insane. And then we had another venue called the Verdant Cove, where we hosted the after party at. And basically everything we managed to get most things in the same ward, which made it easier for people. So that was pretty cool. It was in the Imperium, and we're like, yeah, this works. So yeah,
perfect for the setting with Starlight. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, when I logged in yesterday or the day before when Starlight event started and like it was snowing, I was just like, oh my God, that's right. I always forget that they turn the snow on, but I love it every time.
That's the opposite reaction I have, having like grown up in Chicago most of my life. It's like if I look outside the window and I see snow, I just go, oh no.
Yeah, we do have snow right now in Chicago.
It was flurrying a little earlier here too.
Yeah, however, in my new house, I looked out the window and I was like, beautiful. But I also don't have to go outside if I don't want to.
There you go.
So
it's fun though. In your new house, you have a snow immediately. That's a good memory.
It was pretty. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I live in Virginia, so if we get snow, it's like this much, and that also keeps us from going anywhere. So.
Washington, we get this much, it keeps us from going anywhere.
Well, here in California, it's always sunshine.
Okay, so those are the builds. That's the venue. That's where it all happened. But I think so much of this was amazing, from just like the community elements to all of the different events that were put on for the event that happened to make it eventful. But
I like how you're leaning into it now.
I'm just going for it now. But, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you raised around a total of $15,000 for Make-A-Wish over the course of these 2 days. Is that correct? Is that right?
Yeah, but as a collective of streamers, VTubers, community members, 15K! That's crazy. Our initial goal was 10K, so we passed it by 5K, which is pretty wild. Yeah.
Half again. That's no small feat.
No, especially for just a 2-day event. That's a massive rallying of the community. That's just amazing. I mean, how does that feel, having done so much good? And how has Make-A-Wish responded? Have they responded about it?
Well, what's really it makes us all feel super amazing and grateful that we could do this. And we never thought we would do this. Like, so it was pretty crazy to sit there like when everything's over and it's just like, wow, we just did this whole thing. And we managed to cumulatively raise $15,000 for kids, so that was insane. Make-A-Wish was really, really supportive, and they were so happy to see what we did. their main Twitter account retweeted some of our tweets and stuff and helped, you know, get it out there. And they were happy with what we've done. And we're in chats like in the post of it all as well. And I was saying like these guys work so hard, and we're really really grateful that you guys worked with us. So where do we go from here, basically? And they are kind enough to basically they want to send out gifts to the people involved. So I was like, yo, that's pop. So we can like give a few things back to, you know, the whole volunteers and, you know, everyone involved. So hopefully they get something in their mail come the new year, which that'll be a surprise for them to uncover. But I thought that was pretty cool. But raising money for Make-A-Wish was really a blessing in itself, because if you guys don't know or know, but Make-A-Wish Foundation is an amazing charity that helps kids with critical illnesses. And every 20 minutes, a kid's diagnosed with a critical illness. And 80% of them, they go through a lot of traumatic stress. So, you know, these kids, it means a lot to be able to raise money and give to these kids to show them that they can dream and have a future and get past these things. And, you know, any little bit of help that aids with that notion, I think like is a big deal. So I'm pretty grateful for us raising that much money for them.
That's great.
That got me. Like
Yeah,
right
me
in the
too.
feels. I immediately choked up. I was like, oh, no. Oh, it's like I'm watching Mulan or Avatar, listening to the 14 soundtrack again.
It all comes back to Avatar.
It all comes back to Avatar's last name.
Good job saving China. You did it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you're right. It's phenomenal. And especially for those of you who have done Starlight Celebration event this year. I just did it on stream right before this. It's always usually about spreading joy and cheer to children. As much of, you know, Western holidays around Santa and presents and gift giving has been about thematically, right? But at the same time, like we do forget, I think sometimes, because we've all been kids, we've gone through that, it's just sort of a thing, but we think about the fact that there are so many kids out there who their holidays are going to be so different than what anybody else's conventionally might be perceived as, and truly helping uplift those at any time of year, you know, beautiful young souls that are just getting started in their adventures and their journey worldwide, right? It's such an incredible gift to help them and reach out. And $15,000 raised is a massive amount, especially for the duration of this event. So yes, you should all be so proud. Incredible, just incredible.
This is why we won Best Community. People
yes.
Oh yeah, that's a big example of it. Really, that really is. That's 100% true.
Absolutely. So Wish Upon a Realm was presented. I know you said there were a lot of people involved, but a huge involvement from Final Fantasy XIV. I guess like FFXIV tubers. Maybe that's a better way to say it. FFXIV tubers, which is a stream team that you and Nabi alongside another are admins of and help run. So I was curious if you could tell us a little bit about the team even, and just what you do and how you're formed, and you know, what it's like being a VTuber in the community.
Yeah, sure, definitely. So VTubers like kind of lit a blaze like during the pandemic, I would say. And so I noticed in the 14 community in particular, we basically had different communities that were being put together. For example, Brian Ricardo, amazing PvPer, part of Team Aetheryte, they basically made a VTuber Discord just to encompass VTubers from like FF, I believe, something of that notion. And then we had another friend who did the same thing. And then Nabi reached out to me at some point. She said she wanted to do something like this. And I was like, yo, that's awesome. So since I already had some knowledge and like, okay, well, that's happening. Like, why don't we all just merge into one booyah of FFXI VTubers? And so that's what happened. We merged the Discords, and we realized it became a really big community hub. And we were actually really overwhelmed with the response, because, you know, you'd start out thinking, okay, we have one VTuber in the 14 directory, and that's Stall, right? And then from there, you know, we had like 500. Well, where do these people come from? They're all for FFXI VTuber, what? And so it was just a lot. So we just basically want to capitalize that. We'd like to call it an FFXI VTuber community. As for the stream team, it encompasses like 100 members, but that's just the surface really of it because there's way more beyond that. And these guys are really active. Every day they're writing stuff, they're posting stuff. There's so much content out there. And the best thing we can do is try to share that to the best of our ability and time. And, you know, everyone is super wholesome. So we really enjoy the FFXIV VTuber community, and we want to make sure everybody feels included and welcome because it's a vast category that actually surpasses that of just a quote unquote team because it's a huge community in the directory now.
I like how you called it wholesome. I've been just watching your ears wiggle this whole time, and that in and of itself, so wholesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been looking at the ear like this entire show. I'm just every so often just little.
It's so cute. I love it.
Very cute.
But I enjoy myself sometimes.
It's very good. This is like not connected to anything, but I was curious. I mean, in MMOs, we have avatars, right? And we use avatars all the time. I mean, do you think that the fact that in like an MMO in particular, we already have so much freedom to create avatars and a version of ourselves in the digital world, do you think that partially has contributed to a lot of the big boom in VTubers in 2018? And then as like a tangent note to that, do you oftentimes see that people are creating avatars that are the same as theirs in game or different?
Well, I'm a big culprit of kind of the same, I think, because my Mikote or Mosquito or Makito, whatever you want to call him, he is a blue-haired cat boy, but that actually like stemmed from my own character I created a long time ago. So, you know, I think it's wild. Character customization's been out for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if people made VTubers based on these customizations, or even, to be honest, what I really see these days is people creating a new idea altogether. So a lot of great new original ideas, and some of them are recycled from something sentimental to you, or, you know, a character you created from 5 years ago, you know, on RuneScape. Not 5 years ago. We're like 20 years ago. We're like 9 years old now.
5 is fine. Don't think about it.
We're dating ourselves now. Remember RuneScape?
But yeah, I think that also contributes a lot. A lot of gamers who wouldn't want to be their own anime waifu, you know, or husbando or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it's part of what I've said about Vinat a lot. I'm like, I want to be her, I want to kiss her, I want to love her, I look up to her, I want all of this, just like to all at once.
All right, guys. So see you on next Rook stream where she becomes Heidelin herself.
I'm trying. Look, I'm working towards it. So far, I have not figured out.
I need you to not.
Almost white, so
you can't because I'm gonna have an issue. I'm gonna have an issue killing you. I don't want to do it.
Look, it will be a prolific duel to end all duels. We both have sword experience. I'm just saying, I would duel you any day, in the past, in the future, in the heart of the earth, before you had to kill me for the good of all human and non-human kind.
I like how we went from like this wholesome event to like, I will duel you.
I mean, we can do the duel part.
Her
this took a turn.
And being all epic and all this blood everywhere. Oh,
yeah,
man.
we'll reenact that. But also, let's help children.
I'm just imagining a cosplay now of Bloody Vanat with like a Bluetooth speaker on the back, just playing answers, just like walking around like dead-eyed. Like
someone recently asked me, because I'm not doing an event I did this past year at one of my cons. So next year I'll probably be in the cosplay, hopefully. And somebody was like, "Hey, what do you want to do?" And I was like, "Have you played this game called Final Fantasy 14? Because there's a story we could do there."
I mean, like, you could do a whole thing there. There's like a whole thing there that could happen.
How do you feel about walking across the stage really sadly?
I feel great about that. Are you inviting me? Am I inviting myself now?
No, okay, let's go.
Anyway, getting back to why we're here. It's real. And I mean, yeah, I think it is, like you said, it's an incredible thing about gaming space that I think a lot of meaning can come from these games, and even creating a digital avatar, whether it's in-game or as a VTuber, can be such a personal thing. And I love to hear about that because VTubing is something that we see, more and more people doing. And I've always loved your VTuber personas and characters and your own personal art. And I think it is something that can be really empowering to a lot of people that maybe they hadn't considered and is becoming more and more accessible to a lot of different creators, right? As more and more of this technology gets shared and more people can help uplift others and create resources like this Discord and these stream teams to uplift those who are interested in bringing their characters and their self to life in those different ways. So all of that to say, looping back to the event, do you think you're going to make this an annual event?
To be honest, maybe. I would be down to do it because this time around it was just quite an experience. Maybe next time we can do it better because I've learned a lot this time around in terms of like, okay, yeah, I need more help basically. And everyone was so helpful. But I don't know, I really like event planning. I think it kind of runs in my family, but basically like my dad who runs a restaurant, he's just like always doing everything on his own kind of thing. I'm kind of the same way, but not intentionally. It's just like, okay, gotta get this done now. Boom, does it. And it's like, oh shit, do you want to help? But, everyone's different. And so you learn from the first time around and you hopefully grow and make it better. So yeah, I would love to do it again sometime next year. And people were like comparing like, oh, I remember last year's Chocobo race. I don't think Frosty did a Chocobo race this year, so everyone was comparing this Chocobo race to the last one, basically. And he's like, yeah, I remember last year when I did this. And I was like, well, now it feels like it needs to be an annual thing.
I hope it is, honestly. I mean, of course, please sleep, eat, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
It was a huge thing to coordinate, and please do not feel any guilt about sleeping. You probably needed that sleep when it came to the Chocobo race day. Honestly, you were doing so much, but I think it is incredible to see what you were able to do even just with this first year and how many people wanted to be a part of it. And I know it made my holidays in game a little more special, so I would love to see it come back, and I'm always happy. But
I think it's really interesting that it wasn't something that you guys decided to come up with until Make-A-Wish actually reached out to you. Like, how did they even find you, right? Like, they have somebody on that team who is looking for people that will help. That person needs a raise.
I mean, it's a huge thing now. So many charities are realizing the power of gaming and the fact that gaming communities and Twitch and all this kind of fundraising can be massive, right? I mean, we've seen so many of these teams and social media teams that work with charities suddenly going, wait, hold on, how do we get into it? So it's amazing that they reached out directly to the team and that you were able to put this together for them.
It's cool that people trying to do this are paying attention. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. Like, good job, Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, good job, Make-A-Wish, for sure, for reaching out to us. And I feel like it's pretty common to get a lot of charity companies reach out like, hey, you want to do charity for this cause? And all their causes are amazing. It's just more of, I think, for a streamer's perspective, like, do you have time for it, really?
Yeah.
Because with your already busy schedule, you have time to fit this in, basically. And then there's the argument of, well, I need charity myself, so does that...
Yeah.
It's a big hit and miss, I think, for them. So I think they work really hard to work with streamers and coordinate with them because we can be a hot mess sometimes. That's true.
But you guys are, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from the outside looking in, it looks like you guys so often have to coordinate your own schedules. You're probably all pros at this by now, so they expect that from you guys, probably.
Oh, I bet they do, definitely.
Rook's
yeah,
like,
definitely.
Totally, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're
true,
totally pros at it, not still disasters. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, that
it
message
looks
you sent me
like you
5 years
are.
ago. You open it and then it's gone forever, basically.
Pretty much.
What's the schedule? What is that?
Well, you either are good at it or are good at the illusion of it. So there.
And it's so funny though that Make-A-Wish like reached out and we were like trying to think of like, should we have a festival name, right? And so we were thinking like, is it just a Winterfest? Like, what is this? But I'm really happy to say that I came up with the name Wish Upon a Realm, and I thought about it because, you know, this is a realm and we are working for Make-A-Wish, so, you know, we're wishing upon a realm, really. So, and everybody's like, yeah, that fits best. And I'm like, awesome. So we locked that in. And I thought it was a really good sentimental notion to what this cause was in the first place. So that was pretty nice.
A solid name.
I'm gonna need you to stop being sentimental. I can only cry so many tears during the podcast. No, don't. Keep doing it.
It's very good. I love the name. It's so catchy. And like you said, I think it really embodies something about the cause, which is also so important when you're trying to brand or label anything. But I know it caught my eye, especially.
Aww. McYoshi-Ps for everybody. You give a shit.
Okay, we have to talk about this now. We were going on about this before the show, and we said save it for the show. What is McYoshi-Ps?
Take it away, Rook.
Wait, why am I responsible? McYoshi-Ps is where black mages eat for free. I mean, from my understanding, although Darian is going to have to add more to this, the official lore is that McYoshi-Ps is an in-game, totally not McDonald's, but McDonald's that exists, that is Yoshi-P's personal and or biased fast food joint of choice in the game, has been manned in the past by Zeros, who has really gotten in there and really jumped into character, and who, I mean, I had the pleasure when I was over on Darian's show of which is up on YouTube, over on Darian's channel on YouTube, in case anybody didn't know, that I got to go through the drive-thru. And I still can't tell you what happened that day. Did we get food? Yeah, sure. But at what cost? I don't know. But a lot of things happened. It was very spicy. A lot of laughs were had. It took a lot for us to try and get our food. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, also, I had to like request my food like 5 times. So service at McYoshi-Ps is not great if you're not a black mage or...
I was going to say, yeah, because you're not a black mage, yeah.
Yeah.
He heard you talking smack about black mage on your streams and was like, I don't know if I want to serve
pretty much, yeah,
this person.
Yeah.
Well, there was the small problem of getting attacked by like 5 Exalis while ordering in the drive-thru. So that
we did get attacked.
And
it's a good thing that Exalis, like, they don't go above like level 75, right? So you're probably fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
It was smooth ride. Smooth ride. 10 of 10.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally smooth. Good service. Would recommend. Yeah. It was basically
I feel like
a little
the
comedic
show,
stint.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to send me the link for that so I can put it in the description for this show.
I'm sure we can do that. I'm sure that can be handled. Yeah.
Most
A skit, a comedic skit. That's the way I would. It was a little comedic skit that has happened. It was a good time.
I'm here for it. I'm ready.
Would you say it was a comedic event?
Yeah, I would
Sure.
definitely say that.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, before we let you go, is there anything else about the event that you would like to talk about in regards to the event? And is there...
Does anybody in chat have any questions too?
Also that, yes.
I do remember earlier someone was asking, are you guys going to post screenshots from the event? We did have someone basically take these professional photos during the entire thing, and we have all of them, and we should be posting them with the hashtag #WishUponARealm probably sometime soon. But yeah, we've had a lot of things happen in the post, like we've been waiting on sending out our prizes to our winners for contests and stuff because we were waiting for Make-A-Wish. And they came through, so we're good. So we're gonna send those out this week for sure. And we also will be posting those screenshots. And then we also already sent out the thank you form. So if you want to be thanked by Make-A-Wish, you know, that form is with you. So yeah, just a lot of things happening in the post, but yeah, look forward to seeing those things. Please look forward to it.
All
right.
That is gonna do it. We did an episode.
After
like a month and a half, we did an episode, and we're gone for the next 2 weeks. So
yeah, 3 maybe. But you know, next year, if you guys do it again, hit us up ahead of time, and maybe we can like have you on beforehand for some advertising.
Oh, heck yeah. Let's do it.
Mr. Potato Pageant.
Oh my goodness.
We'll get a venue and we'll name it the Aetheryte Radio Shack, and you guys can hang out.
Aetheryte Radio Shack.
We could do. Now hear me out.
God.
We could do an in-game Aetheryte Radio where people could tune in and we could have our characters there. It'd be so cute.
Remember, we had that idea once.
Did.
Zen
we
had
did it for like
had a
maybe
second
2...
house, and we did it once or twice.
Yes.
Well, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm up for it. Aetheryte Radio Shack is precious.
I love that. It's
Radio
good.
Shack.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining like a Radio Shack with like a little tiny stage, which is a couple people talking, and there's like AV cables and RF adapters on the wall behind them.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
I'm dating myself.
Thank you so much for having me, guys, by the way.
Yes,
I
thank you
really
so much
appreciate it.
for joining us. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at anything/Darian Hart or at Darian Hart. On Twitch, on Twitter, on YouTube, on wherever you want to look, it might be there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it. This was really fun too.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. It was great to talk about the event, and hopefully, if this happens again next year, we'll be a little more not busy with other stuff. Yeah,
Sounds
we'd love
good,
to talk about it.
good.
All right, if you want to find me on the internet, you can do that at Raffledurg on all the things. I got to update YouTube. YouTube did name things, and somebody I think already had it. So I need to update that. I forget what it is. But Twitter and Twitch, Raffledurg, you can find me. Zen, where can they find you?
Hi, it's me on my Twitter. I am Xenedra_A. And I mean, you guys know, it's plus the word, one the number, shot the word. We do D&D stuffs. Not randomly. It's on Saturdays and Fridays and Sundays, but it's like every other one. This week, we are doing our Teens with Attitude show on Sunday. So if you want to watch me pretend to be a teenage Power Ranger, please come watch on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Just as another addition to that, we're having our Green Ranger visit for the first time this weekend. So if you're into the mysterious side ranger,
Making me
where do they even come from? Yeah.
Which color ranger are you?
I'm the Red Ranger.
Oh, Zen's in charge.
The hair didn't give it away.
I'm not gonna say.
I mean, she's also dressed in like a reddish. Like
I'm not gonna say that I am the leader because we don't have a leader yet, and we might not in the future. But I mean, red's pretty.
I
much
mean, I grew up on Power Rangers. We all know.
I'm not gonna claim it, but
He's the leader, guys.
It's known. Rook, where can people find you on the internet?
I got too excited and I just jumped in as you were still going. I'm sorry. You can find me if you want to see the events that I do and all of those live events streamed. You can see me on Twitch, twitch.tv, Rookery, ROOKUI. You can find videos, my big reactions, motions to the games that we play over on YouTube, which is also at Rookery. And you can find me on Twitter at Rookery_. It's the only one that's different at Rookery_, as well as Instagram, which I remember exists and put pictures on sometimes, which is also at Rookery. Though with the possible downfall and or slow descent into madness that Twitter has been recently, we may be doing more over there, which is the only reason that out, because we don't know what's going to happen on this platform, and stuff got even spicier today. So you can also find me on Instagram. It's just at Rookery.
There you go. If you want to contact the show, you can do that. Aetheryte Radio at gamerescape.com. Throw us an email if you have any questions, or you can tweet at us maybe at Aetheryte Radio. You can also find us as Gamerescape, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Discord, discord.gg/Gamerescape. We've got a Final Fantasy XIV chat. We've got an Aetheryte Radio chat. So come and hang out.
Talk to us. We like you. Do.
Yes. And thank you, Darian, again so much for joining us. We're really happy to have you on and get to hear about this amazing event that you and Nabi and everybody else coordinated together.
I have to say, I think that I did a really good job today, not squealing every time I saw the ear wuggles. So, congratulations to me.
Good. Yeah, I was gonna say don't hurt yourself. Pat yourself on the back for that one.
Listen, it's really cute.
It is.
No, you.
All right, that is going to do it. Again, we are off next week. Next week is Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody that's celebrating. Week after that just happens. It's also New Year's, so we'll be gone again. So we'll be back at some, after that talking about patch stuff, because patch. Oh,
Patch.
Kitty.
A lot incoming, that's for sure, with this new year.
Yeah, so Zen's cat just jumped on her chair in case people listening to the audio are like, what the hell? What? So, all right, that's going to do it for us, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out, and we will see you in the new year.
Bye.
Bye.